and welcome to ISTV English News, and let's have the top stories and the news today. After a 9-hour-long marathon talks, state government comes to terms with JCILPS. 7-point agreement signed. And now the news in detail. The government of Manipur has come to terms with the Joint Committee on Inland Permit System, which has been spearheading the mass movement for implementation of ILP late last night. The Chief Secretary on behalf of the state government and the representatives of JCILPS signed a 7-point agreement, what could be termed as historic, around 1 a.m. last night after talks that lasted more than 9 hours. The talks began in the dusk and went on till midnight, which many observers feel reflects the seriousness of the Ibobi-led Congress government of the ever-growing issue of influx. The first point of the agreement says that the state government will introduce and pass 3 bills in the Manipur Legislative Assembly. The bills are the Protection of Manipur Peoples Bill 2015, the Manipur Land Revenue and Land Reforms 7th Amendment Bill 2015, and the Manipur Shop and Establishments 2nd Amendment Bill 2015. It was also agreed that the government of Manipur shall associate with the experts elected by the JCILPS while framing the rules of the Protection of Manipur Peoples Bill 2015. The third point is that the government shall constitute a Manipur State Population Commission to assess the problems and issues of demographic imbalance and other related matters so as to take up measures to maintain social harmony and peaceful development. A white paper on population influx shall also be brought out by the state government within 1 year. Further, the state government shall also constitute a Manipur State Land Reforms Commission to undertake a review of the situation arising out of complexities related to land, resources and population dynamics and advise the government on effective measures on land use policies and help ameliorate inter-community tensions and enhance the respect for democracy and diversity in the state. At the same time, it was also agreed that the state government shall implement the relevant clauses in the agreement between AMSU and AMSCOC with the government on July 22nd of 1980 and August 5th of 1980, which were also reaffirmed by the then government on November 9 in 1994 on the issues of foreigners as mentioned in the agreement under the Foreigners Act 1946. The state government shall urge the central government to enact any other appropriate or necessary acts and rules which may be beyond the purview of the state government for the protection of the Manipur people. The 7th and the last point of the agreement says that the JCILPS has agreed to the proposed 3 bills for introduction in the Manipur Legislative Assembly. 8 representatives of JCILPS, led by the convener in charge of JCILPS, Komram Ratan, signed the agreement on behalf of the Joint Committee. Chief Secretary, Government of Manipur, PC Lamkunga, signed the agreement on behalf of the state government. After signing the agreement, Chief Minister O. Ibobi briefed the media persons in the Chief Minister's Secretariat.
JCILPS ki senaw singna tangay phadana masi hapsi and pibiraka point manga adugi mathakta amusu awat apa haibetare. Another public convention nama meeting ama tawraga suggestion tarpa point tara haibetare adumasu akoi loina ba incorporate tawjare madu insert tawre ngasi yanaba ama haibetare JCILPS ka akoi ga huji akoina sarkar na prepare tawiba bill se akoi bills deiga nasi sarkar na cabinet decision lauraga masi bill si puthokna ba tawda yare akoi sarkar na anoba bill ma prepare tawbi JCILPS ki senaw singa munna tanar matungda masigi bill se nakal animang na haitare government ki taraf tagi su JCILPS ki senaw sing mayam ki taraf tagi su masigi bill se masi puthokpa House da introduce tawba yare haidna koi yanaba ama yaudna madugi agreement ama su tawre.
On the other hand, Khomram Ratan told the media persons that the agreement was basically based on the resolutions adopted at the public meeting and signed after having talks with the government.
Happen adugi matangda koi poiner yanda konjangda mituk khandopa tanopadu matangudi hana poiner eba ama leibina du makada mokhoga hoiga agreement am inai maramdi 1990 da tongi ba agreement amadi 1990 da tongi ba insurance ko tongi agreement ado madu amuna higalna kanda du makada poiner detection da report hobi matandu yanara kanda maruina khoi point manga si yana basi mutuna koina billahum mutokani billahum bida koina yenga na bill du mutanda khoi so khoi yenga duga awar passing koina moda hamna ba harme duga finance bill lama luraga kemen bisero ga thaba na khoi mathoni masi matang je khoi ga yana kan da yamna chekola bai kemeno khoi tonare hai bai kemena sina khoi ngasi mak eta strike de bai wati leite.
An IED bomb exploded in front of the gate of 45 AR Charlie Company, Chingaril, under Lamlai police station around 8:45 today morning. A man who runs a hotel near the spot was injured. He has been identified as Thauchom Kumar, age 55, a resident of Kangla, Sangomsang, Awanglekai. The bomb exploded when troops of 45 AR drove out in their gypsy. It is reported that none of the AR personnel was injured. Later, Manipur Police Bomb Squad and Lamlai Police rushed and inspected the blast site. The 40th death anniversary of founder of Congress Sevadal Dr. N.S. Hardikar was observed by Manipur Pradesh Congress Sevadal at Congress Bhavan today. Deputy Chief Minister Gai Khangam, who is also President of Manipur Pradesh Congress Committee, led the gathering in paying floral tributes to the photo of the Sevadal founder.
I'm ready. Telero. Editor ka late.
Some say hujik pudi perfectly straight ado kankhar kandadi freezy.
Relax. Perfectly straight. Aina semi anoba sunsil perfectly straight with straight lock technology maramdi. Some kankraba matung dasu align straight oina laina bagidamo.
Wow, hujik su straight oirina.
Straight and gorgeous. Sunsilk perfect straight. Lock to you, rock to you.
Now the national and international news. The announcement on implementation of One Rank, One Pension OROP scheme is unlikely anytime soon, as there seems to be an end to the deadlock between the government and ex-servicemen. According to sources, the army veterans who have been protesting for OROP at Jantar Mantar in the national capital are likely to reject the government formula and escalate the agitation. However, more meetings are expected to take place between the representatives of ex-servicemen and the government to discuss the impasse. Sources said that there are three major bones of contention between the two sides. The first factor of conflict is the government's offer to fix pension at the 2011 base pay level, which is not acceptable to the ex-servicemen. The other bone of contention is the demand of ex-servicemen to give a 3% annual increment, which the government is not willing to accept. Government sources have now said that in the wake of these differences, an announcement on OROP in the next few days is unlikely. Curfew has been imposed in several parts of Gujarat after members of the Patel community resorted to arson and vandalism late on Tuesday night. The move comes after 21-year-old Hardik Patel, who is on a hunger strike demanding reservation and leading the agitation, was briefly detained on Tuesday night. He was released just an hour after his detention. As news of his detention spread, violence broke out in several parts of Gujarat, including Ahmedabad, Surat, Mehsana, Rajkot and some interior areas of the state. Paramilitary forces like State Reserve Police Force, Border Security Force and Rapid Action Force have been deployed in cities like Ahmedabad and Mehsana. However, no casualties have been reported in the state so far. In Ahmedabad, city buses and police posts were set on fire, while stone pelting was reported from various parts of Gujarat, State Control Room officials said. Police had to resort to lathis and lob tear gas shells to control the situation. Curfew was imposed in Mehsana city, Urza and Visnagar towns after widespread incident of arson in which attempts were also made to set on fire the residence of Gujarat Minister of State of Home Rajni Patel. Meanwhile, Hardik Patel has called for a statewide ban on Tuesday to intensify the agitation. He also urged his community members to maintain peace as several parts of Gujarat witnessed incidents of violence. United Nations has expressed deep concern over former Maldivian President Mohammad Nasheed's imprisonment. The UN has said the move was a serious setback to the human rights situation in the country. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights Zeid Ra'ad Al Hussein expresses concern to the Maldivian government after Nasheed was again sent to prison on Sunday night, a month after the former president's 13-year prison term was commuted to house arrest. Meanwhile, the US has also urged the government of Maldives to release former president and end politically motivated trials against him. Before we close the top stories once again. After 9-hour-long marathon talks, state government comes to terms with JCILPS. 7-point agreement signed. That's all for now and keep watching ISTV News Update.